Ooh. All right, cool. There's already some good examples in here. Yoga, hugs, color, and blow bubbles. I think that should all be incorporated into a single event. Bubble hug yoga. Bath, that's a good one. Taking a bath with a loved one, better. There's a big time in my life when masturbating was a big one for me. Luckily, I didn't end my masturbating with shame. A lot of people, that's a challenge, so don't use masturbating if it ends with shame for you. I was always quite proud of the way my masturbation sessions ended. Is that too much information? Well, Cliffy, I cannot endorse publicly the use of any sort of recreational or medicinal tool to change your... But I could certainly appreciate that. I don't know what the pictures were. So let me just share. This is a picture from the hike the weekend that I had with Brandy, and we stayed in this beautiful cabin. And we went on this cool hike that took us along this creek. It was all shady and beautiful, and very few people were there. And we kept stopping along the way and kissing each other. Not sure if you can read that. Basically it says, once upon a time there was a stone castle by a creek, because the hike we went to was to this structure, this old stone, like, historical structure. And then I said, a handsome prince amidst mushrooms, woodpeckers, and ferns kissed the princess. The end. So I kind of made that little graphic for her as a way, and for myself as kind of to snap me back into that perfect now that was happening, because it was just later that day that I was in that struggling place. And so here, just hours before I was in this struggling doubt place, I'd had this perfect now. So it was. I mean, they're all perfect nows, but some of them are ones that you use as like anchor points. Like, when in doubt, remember that. When in doubt, remember that. In fact, that's another thing I highly recommend you do is keep track of those things. Anytime you have a moment that's like, that was awesome, write it down, because your brain wants to let it go. Your brain, your evolution has not created a mind that holds on to good stuff. There's not a ton of evolutionary benefit to remember things that make you warm and fuzzy. There's a huge evolutionary benefit to remembering things that keep you safe. So anxiety and fear, you're built to focus and remember on that for survival. We have to counteract that by making lists, or, I think I've mentioned in the past, I have a private blog that I just open up a tab, and anything that is good, a good email, a quote, anything that makes me feel better, I just keep it there. I just keep posting there, as this evidence of the mindsets and the places and the things that make me my happiest. Gypsy says she's been working on your technique. Not sure if that's connected to the masturbation conversation, but I'm going to assume not. Stop, breathe, envision my perspective, pulling back and widening, so I remind myself that the world is huge and beautiful and full of possibilities. Bravo. I made that morning blessing audio MP3 about a year ago. And I've been thinking lately that I need to make a shorter one. It's like 15 minutes, which is a lot to ask for in the morning. It's great if you're doing stretching or yoga, but what I really need to make is like a 2-minute morning meditation that does exactly what you just said. Stop, fall into gratitude, let it, pull that gratitude out, remind yourself of how amazing everything is, who you are, and now go embrace the day. And I think that when I listen to that 15-minute thing, it makes a huge difference in my day. So I think I would like to create something, an edit or a new one that is less of a burden. I know 15 minutes is crazy, the lifestyles we have where like Spend 15 minutes so that your entire day can be better? Who has the time? I think it was Martin Luther King Jr. that said, if I meditate an hour every morning, or I pray an hour every morning, unless I have a ton to do, in which case I pray for 2 hours. Sweet, Bridie sent a free hugs photo. Oh, free hug photo and a note to a person you had a debate with. Bravo. Sachi says she goes to a hammock at the Leek Eden Arts Festival. In your head. That is such a good thing to remember. Is that you should have a go-to memory, vision. It doesn't have to be real, but you have to feel it. You have to be able to go to that place in your head and smell, hear, feel the temperature. For me, my grandparents used to have this cabin in Colorado, and on the Green Mountain Reservoir, and I can remember lying on the dock after swimming in the cool water, lying on the dock, the weather-worn boards, and the feeling of the wood, and the sound of the lapping of the waves, and the feeling of the sand between my toes, and the sun on me, and often my nephews playing nearby, and the tall grasses, and like, that is my peace place. Whenever in a meditation they say, think of a peaceful, that's where I go. And as we practice here, when you start to get more aware that you're in control of your thoughts, you can go there. You can bring that to your now if you need to. Maybe I should even practice trying to get a library of those moments. I certainly have those kind of moments that I bring into my masturbation sessions. They have less to do with my childhood, thankfully, and more to do with... when I was younger, they had to do with porns. Now they have to do with actual memories. Win! Yes! So, Masturbation Nation, we called that Globalgasm. But that's a topic for a happy hour. Before we go, I just want to encourage you to vote. I know that there's all sorts of reasons why it can be daunting. I mean, I guess if you, at this point, you either have registered or you haven't. So hopefully you've registered and hopefully you vote. If nothing else, if you think it's all a sham, then vote for third-party candidates all over the place. Just vote out the incumbents. So at least people think, I mean, if you hate the system, make people think that they've only got one term. And that way people will act from a place of their hearts as opposed to the broken political system. That's my advice. So I wanted to share this is the larger pictures on Facebook. This is my say can you well actually I don't know if you can see from that size. I'm holding a Hitachi Magic Wand, which is the greatest corporate coup ever. That Hitachi, the consumer electronics brand, makes this incredibly innocent back massager, which is used by 99.9% of people who have bought one to bring themselves to orgasm. Hear, hear for the American way. And hopefully if we keep voting and keep having our voices heard, I will not go to prison for sharing photos like that. Yay! Or at least if I go to prison, they'll let me bring a Hitachi Magic Wand with me. That wouldn't be so bad. I have a feeling they don't let you have high-powered vibrators. Then again, it's been a long time since I've watched a prison movie. It is 2 o'clock. Somehow an hour has passed, and yet the now continues to be perfect. Thank you for being here and sharing this and allowing this vibration to flow freely and be received and be amplified. I knew before today started that this process of talking about this stuff would be so healing for me, and so I am internally grateful. Internally and eternally, and externally, and transdimensionally grateful for this shared experience. May your day be amazing. May you shine your light. May being you and filling yourself with joy be the work that you do in the world. It will lead to whatever it's supposed to lead, but that is important. Thank you. I love you. Have a great week. Maybe see you tonight at 6 o'clock happy hour. We'll talk about the posts of people's question of the day, as well as, normally we save the masturbation talk for happy hour. Today, it's all haywire. I love you!